Today we're going to be doing a 2007 Apex Yamaha 4-stroke. We're going to eliminate the exhaust donuts with the FX Garage Works exhaust braided flex line. It's elimination of the donuts and the breakdown of them. So let me go through it with you here with my demonstration sled, and I can explain a little more. Okay, this is my 2003 display model. As you see, I got her all apart, standing upright. And when you look in, you can see my kit that eliminates the exhaust donuts. It's a one-time repair. It's a bit of work to do the repair, but once you do, it's done. This is the back side. There's their 4 clamps with your pipes. That kind of gives you an idea what we're going to be doing on the 2007 Apex. Tear this machine apart and get into it. Okay, so 2007 Apex, we're going to pull it apart. It's going to be pretty quick for me. Take your 2 casts off with your balance. Take them off. You got your seat. You usually have 1 or 2 wires underneath your seat. Disconnect them, move your seat. Then you get into the upper parts. Move your front cowling. Take your side cowlings off, both sides. Now your gas tank, same thing, you gotta remove your cap usually. Slide it up and out. I kept it all together so it's all one piece. Put your cap back on. You gotta pull your gas tank. You got 2 nuts, 2 wires. Slide your tank out, you'll have a couple lines hooked up at the back. Disconnect them, 1 wire. Move your gas tank. And you get access to your exhaust. So then you got an exhaust panel inside here. Slides out. It's a snug fit. That comes out. There's your exhaust donut. As you can see, got 1 damaged one here. Got a crack in it. Drilling these 10 rivets. Don't even bother trying to undo them. Even if they do hold, they will just break the bolts. So just drill those 10 rivets. That way it drops right out of the bottom, and then we fix it on the bench after, which I'll go through with you. Alright, our 2007 Apex, we got our suspension out, and now we have access to all the underneath components. So there's your 2 clamps that hold your can pipe to your Y pipes, and all the way forward. There's those brackets. Then we'll get your exhaust out. And same thing, like I said, once we get up the top here, and then we pull your manifold bolts out and stuff. Alright, we got our rivets out, our bolts out of the bracket that holds that on, the Y pipes. As you can see, I got the clamps out. Okay, so now I have all my clamps removed. There it is with the Y pipes out. It's good to see what happens. So you get broken flanges. This one's mostly because they did the clamps up too tight. And then you get to this one, and then you find out little things like this. This one has a sleeve slipped onto it. Cracking your manifold bolts, head manifold bolts from the block. The biggest thing is to take your time, even pressure, and it will crack free. If you crank on the bolt, it will probably break. So don't crank on it, just even pressure and let it break free slow. If your heads get too rusty and they're rounded a bit, you can put on a 3/8 socket, hammer it on, and same thing, put a little heat to the block if you like, a little propane torch, warm up the block a bit. It also helps. Okay, I got all my bolts out. Pull our accordions out. And one of the biggest questions I get asked is exhaust manifold gasket reusable. The gasket is 100% reusable. It's a two-piece steel gasket, as you can see. Two pieces. Okay, from what I've seen, you got your clamps. The spacer here is there for a reason. It's so it doesn't crimp your flanges. Okay, one very important thing. Once you do your cuts, is cleaning. Clean everything. File it all. Make it all nice and smooth. No edges, no sharp points, especially on the inside. Because these pipes go inside here, you want it as smooth as possible. So nice and clean. If it's a snug fit, I always recommend a little bit of heat to expand that and get them pipes in there. Test fit everything. If you can get those pipes in here on the device, that's where you want to do all that work. Get it in here. They are snug fit. Everything is meant to be snug so we don't get no leaks. So like I said, there's the flange you cut off. You just cut that right off of there. Just like that. So, number one, clean, test fit. You can never do it enough. Okay, here's our Y pipes, all cut. Those are done. We'll test fit everything after. Okay, so now we're going to get going on our manifolds from the flange. Measure 1.5 inches and do our cut. It was originally at the weld, but I'm doing 1.5 inches so that way we make sure we get those flanges, those flex pipes right up to the flange. Alright, so that's our next thing. Alright, all your bellows are cut off your flanges. So, got all our flanges and our bellows are all cut off. So bye-bye donut. So now, same thing, cleaning is everything. I like to emery cloth the outside of it because your pipe is slipping over top of here. As long as you got a nice clean edge around here. So cleaning is everything. Same with your pipes. Clean the inside. Make sure there's no burrs. Clean them out. You can even emery cloth in there. Clean them out as best you can. And then you slide things together. Now, apex guys, anybody with a 4-cylinder, this bend is your nightmare. It is a challenge to get in, and like I said, fit everything on the bench. Now you got to cut your 4 notches into these so you can get your clamps to clamp down on them. They're solely only to just to give that clamp a little bit of clamping pressure to go onto your pipe inside. So we'll go to that next. Alright, we got all our flanges done. Everything's cut. Kit comes with all your clamps, your 4 pipes, and basically it's slipping everything together. It is a snug fit. And as you can see, slide that on. It's on all the way. Okay, so right now I'm test fitting the pipes for insert. So just to get them in, you want them to go in as far as you can. Like, can never be in too far. So, but I want them to make sure when you do your notches that that pipe's past that notch. As you can see, it's way past the notch. What I like to use, like I said, file, clean everything up, make it nice and clean. I like to use the just a rotary stone, sanding stone. Just gets in there, gives it nice and clean in there, cleans everything out, makes it so there's no burrs, and everything slides together. Now, like I said, for apexes are the most challenging fit because of your one bend. This is an 07 apex, so it doesn't have the power valve, but even the power valve, the bend is actually sharper. So it's getting this pipe in far enough to accommodate that bend. It can be done. You got to sand But like I said, I like getting it to this point and put it back in the machine and test fit it. It's a job to do, but it's a job that needs to be done. You need to test fit it till you get your all proper fitting. Okay, so we got the manifolds just loosely bolted. They're just snugged up, just so we can go underneath, put our white pipes and our brackets on, get everything pieced back together, just for a test fit. And then if we have to, we gotta pull it back out. Okay, so this is my first test fit. So you can see here, it's gotta go forward. Okay, you can see I still have room on my pipes. So what we can do is clean our pipes a little more, open them up a little bit more, and then just fit it again on the bench and see if we can get them up tighter. And then you can also shave down the flex pipe to shave it down a little bit to get them in a little more. But we can also cut the manifold side of the flex pipe. You can trim 1/2 inch off of there to move the whole thing forward. Now you got enough there, as you can see. Not focusing here. As you can see, you got more than enough inside that pipe, but it's always good to get as much as you can. But because of this bend, it makes it really tricky. So like I said, we can move it forward by trimming out the front. Okay, so our first test fit, we've noticed it was back about 1/2 inch too far. So what we're going to do, like I said, fitment on the back, fit, clean, get them in there as far as you can. But now what we can do is we trim back here. So because we got so much material here, your pipe was only coming to about this section. So we can trim 1/2 inch. This is mainly on the apexes. Apexes are the hardest machines. So 1/2 inch. Trim that back. So by trimming that is going to move everything forward. Moving everything forward, get your line holes, your bolt holes lined up, your rivet holes lined up, everything back in line. So that'll be our next step. And also you can trim these notches just in a little bit more to fit the clamp width. So there's my 1/2 inch trimmed off. So now that should all line up in the machine and we'll put it all back together. Okay, after all that fitting, test fitting, sanding, a little grinding on the pipes just to get them all fit in nice and smooth. Those are in there. Just put all line my bolts back up. Put my can back on. You always tighten your can first. And you go up to your clamps, your joining pipe, secure those. And then there's the clamps underneath. They're not tight yet. You always put the clamps on to position them so you're able to tighten them nice and easy. Resecure our rivets back into our white pipe bracket. Tighten those 2 bolts. And then once all that's done, everything's tight from the back forward. Then we secure all our clamps and everything else. And then that's complete install. Alright, got our 2007 Apex all back together.